The Beach House Betrayal. My name is Gloria Rivera, and at 60 years old, I thought I had seen the worst life could throw at me. I was a high school English teacher for 35 years in the sunny sprawl of coastal Florida, where the Gulf breeze carried the scent of salt and freedom. My late parents had left me their modest beach cottage in Destin, a weathered two-bedroom bungalow with peeling white paint, creaky wooden floors, and a wraparound porch that overlooked the emerald waves. It wasn't much, but it was home, a sanctuary after my husband Carlos passed from cancer a decade ago. No children of our own then, but I had Serena, my adopted daughter, whom I raised as my own since she was 5, after her biological parents, distant relatives, abandoned her. Serena was my everything. I poured my savings into her education, her dreams. She grew into a beautiful, ambitious young woman with caramel curls like mine and a fire in her eyes that I always admired. At 28, she met Trent, a sharp-dressed real estate developer from Miami, all slick smiles and promises of grandeur. They got engaged quickly, and when they asked to move into the cottage temporarily to save for their wedding, I said yes without hesitation. "We'll help fix it up, Mom," Serena promised, her eyes sparkling. "It'll be our family project. Trent knows contractors. We'll make it shine." How naive I was. The first few months were okay. Trent brought in some workers to patch the roof, and Serena planted flowers in the sandy yard. But soon the comments started. "This place is so quaint," Trent would say, his tone dripping with condescension as he sipped his imported coffee on the porch, like stepping back in time. "No offense, Gloria, but it's a bit simpleton, don't you think? We could turn this into something modern, valuable." Serena laughed along, echoing him. "Yeah, Mom, it's cute, but imagine if we updated it. You deserve better than this old shack." I brushed it off at first. I was used to making do. The cottage had been my parents' pride, bought in the 70s with their life savings. It had character. Seashell wind chimes tinkling in the breeze, faded family photos on the walls, and a kitchen where I'd baked empanadas for Serena's school fundraisers. But as the months dragged on, their temporary stay turned into a year. They stopped helping with repairs. Instead, I overheard whispers, developers, flips, profits. One night, I caught them poring over blueprints with a man in a suit. "Prime beachfront. We could sell for triple after Reno's. Gloria won't mind. She's got her pension." My heart sank. They were plotting to sell my home out from under me. When I confronted them, Serena's face twisted in annoyance. "Mom, it's for the best. You're getting old. Maintaining this place is too much. We'll get you a nice condo inland. Stop being so stuck in the past." Trent added, "Yeah, no one wants to live like this anymore. It's outdated, like your whole vibe. Simpleton living in a tourist trap." The betrayal cut deep. They evicted me, legally, using some loophole about family contributions to the property that Trent's lawyer twisted. I had no fight left. My savings were depleted from helping them. With a small suitcase, I left for a cheap motel in Panama City Beach, 20 miles away. Serena's parting words echoed, "Go enjoy your retirement, Mom. We'll send you a check once it's sold." Neighbors watched as I drove off in my rusty Honda, pity in their eyes. The Johnsons next door hugged me goodbye. "That girl's got no soul," Mrs. Johnson whispered. For weeks, I wallowed in that dingy motel room, staring at the popcorn ceiling, tears soaking the pillow. How had my daughter become this? I raised her with love, taught her Shakespeare and kindness, but ambition had poisoned her, amplified by Trent's greed. No calls, no texts. It was as if I ceased to exist. Then, on a rainy afternoon, something shifted. I looked in the mirror, gray roots showing, eyes puffy, and saw a fighter. My parents hadn't raised a quitter. I had my teaching pension, meager but steady. I cashed in an old bond and rented a tiny apartment above a surf shop in Destin, close enough to keep tabs on the cottage. But I didn't beg or confront. Instead, I transformed. First, I reclaimed my passions. Teaching had burned me out, but art and yoga, those were my escapes. I enrolled in community classes, painting seascapes and practicing sun salutations on the beach at dawn. My body strengthened, my mind cleared. Word spread. Friends from my old school asked for yoga sessions. I started small groups on the public sands, charging a few dollars. Gloria's Glow Yoga, they called it, laughing. But it grew. Tourists joined, then locals. I saved every penny. Meanwhile, whispers reached me. Trent's deal was shady. The developer was under investigation for fraud, fake appraisals, bribes to inspectors. The flip fell through. The cottage sat untouched, taxes piling up. Serena and Trent fought constantly, their dream crumbling. 6 months in, I approached the bank holding the lien. I'd quietly checked records. With my savings and a small loan, I bought back the cottage in auction, dirt cheap, since no one wanted the cursed property. It was mine again, but different. I poured my energy into it, painted the walls ocean blue, refinished the floors, added a sunroom for yoga mats. The porch became an art gallery for my paintings, vibrant canvases of crashing waves and flaming sunsets. I turned the spare bedroom into a retreat space, listing it on Airbnb as Seaside Sanctuary, Yoga and Art Haven. Guests flooded in, stressed executives, grieving widows, young artists seeking inspiration. My life bloomed. I hired a young assistant, Mia, a local college student, to handle bookings. We hosted workshops, beach yoga at sunrise, painting classes with wine. The cottage hummed with laughter, incense, and creativity. Neighbors helped. Mrs. Johnson baked cookies for guests. I lost weight, gained muscle, dyed my hair a fierce auburn. For the first time, I felt alive, not just surviving. Then, on a stormy evening, 9 months after my eviction, they showed up. Serena and Trent, drenched, suitcases in hand, standing on my freshly painted porch. A beat-up rental car idled in the drive. Their faces were gaunt, eyes desperate. "Mom?" Serena croaked. We need help." I opened the door, Mia peeking curiously from the kitchen. The house smelled of lavender and fresh bread. I had just finished a baking class. Serena's eyes widened at the changes. The gleaming floors, my artwork on walls, yoga mats rolled in the corner. "What happened here?" she muttered. Trent shifted uncomfortably. "Gloria, the deal tanked. The developer was a crook, arrested last week. We lost everything. Our savings, the wedding fund. Serena's job fired her. My firm's blacklisted me. We have nowhere to go." I crossed my arms, feeling a steel I'd forged in solitude. "And you thought you'd come back after calling me a simpleton, after stealing my home." Serena sobbed. "We were wrong, Mom, so wrong. Trent's family cut us off. We've been crashing on friends' couches, but they're done. Please, just for a night." Mia whispered, "Should I call someone?" I shook my head. This was my moment. "No," I said firmly. "You can't stay. This isn't your fallback. It's my sanctuary now, a business, a life I built without you." Trent pleaded, "Come on, Gloria. Family helps family."
"Family?" I laughed bitterly. "You evicted your family, insulted her ways, left her in a motel like trash." I pointed to the door. "Figure it out yourselves," like I did. They left, heads down into the rain. Neighbors watched again, but this time, nods of approval. Mrs. Johnson later said, "Good for you, Gloria. They needed that wake-up call." The next weeks were tough. Guilt gnawed. Maternal instinct dies hard. But I leaned on my new community. Yoga classes doubled. My paintings sold at local galleries. I volunteered at a women's shelter, teaching art therapy. It healed me further. A month later, Serena called. "Mom, we're in a motel. Trent's flipping burgers, I'm waitressing. We see now your life wasn't simple. It was real. Can we talk? I met them at a beach cafe. They looked humbled. No designer clothes, just thrift store jeans. Serena apologized tearfully. I was blinded by greed. Trent pushed, but I let him. I hurt you, the one who gave me everything. Trent nodded. I was an ass. Thought money was power, but you built this empire from nothing. I listened, unmoved at first. Words are cheap. Prove it. Volunteer at the shelter. Help women like I was. Donate time to charities. Show humility for a year, consistently. Then maybe we talk family. They agreed. Slowly they showed up. Serena helped with yoga classes, mopping mats without complaint. Trent fixed fences at the shelter, his hands calloused. They donated tips to local causes, no demands, just actions. Months passed. My retreat thrived, booked solid through summer. I dated a kind widower, a fellow artist. Life was full. On the anniversary of their return, they arrived with a gift, a restored family photo album, pages of our old memories. We've changed, Mom, Serena said. Therapy helped. We're saving for our own place. No schemes. I hugged her, tears flowing. Forgiveness came gradual, earned. They didn't move in, but visited Sundays for empanadas. The cottage remained mine, a symbol of resilience.